Hello, everyone. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. I just wanted to let everybody in before we get started so you can get settled in your space. It's going to be a half-hour stretch. We won't be standing up at all. So take a moment. If you want to get a set of blocks, feel free to have them close by. I like to have them just in case I need them. Otherwise, get any other creature comforts you need for the end of our class. We'll just do a little bit of relaxation and breathing at the end. And I'll just wait one more minute before we get started. Maybe find a comfortable seated position. That's where we're going to start. Feel free if you like to sit on a blanket. And just start to find your tallest self so that we can take some nice deep breaths. Just kind of settling in, maybe setting an intention for this practice before bed on a Sunday evening. As we settle, we might close our eyes. Maybe move the shoulders a little bit, maybe sigh or make a sound. We're just waiting the last few seconds for anybody else to join us live. And if you are joining this after it's live, it's recorded, just taking the time to settle into your space. Good. Let's start our Super Bowl Sunday stretch. So in this comfortable seated position that we've found ourselves in, sitting up nice and tall, we're going to start with just a few rounds of what's called a square or a box breath. So inhaling for a count of 4, pausing, holding the breath for a count of 4, exhaling for a count of 4, and then pausing again for 4. So 4 parts to our breath, finding again that inhale, our pause, our exhale, and our pause. And let's just do one more. Inhaling, pause, exhale, and pause. Okay, take a moment just to kind of shake out. Maybe move the shoulders a little bit. And we're going to make our way to a tabletop position. So flipping forward on our mat or just coming to the side, however we can get there. And setting ourselves up, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Your feet can be flat or curled. I'm going to leave that up to you, whatever feels good. And then take the hands just a little bit forward of the shoulders. We're going to come to extended cow. So we actually bring the chest forward and open up space in the front body, lifting the chin. And then exhale, push back with the hands around the back, pick up the palms and just be on fingertips here. So a nice, really rounding stretch. And again, coming forward to our cow, we might even dip down and pop back up a little bit. Lengthening the throat. And then exhale, finding that extended cat, picking up the palms, coming onto fingertips here and really rounding the back, sliding back. One more time. Coming forward to our extended cow. And exhaling, coming through our extended cat. And then from here, coming to a tabletop position, lifting up our right leg so we can pull it through and come into a lunge. Now, this is where you might want blocks. If you don't want to reach all the way to the floor, if you want to have some open space, I'm going to leave mine off to the side, but I'm going to leave that up to you. Just making sure our heel is making contact with our mat, our knees not pushing past our toes, and just starting to drop the back hip as we lift the belly. So stretching where that back leg connects to our body. Taking a couple breaths and then maybe backing up or backing off a little bit. And then maybe as we exhale, sigh, make a sound, sink down a little bit. And if we can, crawling up onto our thigh. And again, maybe controlling that kind of descent or that sinking into this position. Letting shoulders relax. If we want a little bit more, leg that's back, left leg, that arm can reach up. Maybe tip back a little bit of a crescent shape here. And then bringing this left hand all the way to the floor, finding a twist. So hand can come to our right thigh and we can press against the leg. Maybe the arm goes up. Twisting here. So getting some movement in the rib cage as we turn to the side. Big toe and that front foot still pressing down. And then let's pump that hand and circle out the wrist a few times in each direction. And then let the hand come down to the inside of the knee. We're going to walk that foot to the outside edge of our mat and find kind of an assisted lizard pose here. So we're going to turn the toes out, bring the hand to that thigh, and actually push that knee open. So if you're looking from an angle, you're pushing that knee open and maybe the big toe edge of that foot picks up. I have limited space teaching in this place. This is our cottage, so I don't have as big of a room to film from. Breathing here, letting the hips sink a little bit, be heavy. If it's uncomfortable, if you picked up the big toe, having it lifted, place it back down. That's okay. And then we're going to bring the hand that's on our thigh to the inside of that foot. We're going to keep that foot turned out, start to slide back. So our half splits, but that foot is turned out on the side. It's just a little different version of it. So we're going to feel the stretch a little more towards the outside of our hamstrings, a little bit in our glutes. Breathing here, of course, hands can be on blocks if that feels better. Maybe sighing, making a sound. Let the breath flow. And then we're going to walk the hands back. Let that foot connect to the floor again. Hand can come back to that thigh as we kind of push it open. Maybe the big toe picks up. This time, if you like, really opening up, pressing with the supporting hand and opening up the body. Maybe we lift up. So a little bit of a back bend here. Breathe into this space. A little bit of a stretch to the inner thigh. We got that back hip. Lengthening some space in our side and front body. And then let's come back to neutral, hand to the inside of that foot, and let's bring that foot behind us, come back to our tabletop. Walk the hands just a tiny bit forward, coming to that extended cow again, opening up, shifting forward a little bit, a little lift of the belly button. And then exhale, extended cat, picking up the palms around the fingertips, a bigger lift of the belly button, rounding the back. Inhale again, coming forward, extended cow, opening up the throat. Exhale, our extended cat, like we're a real scaredy cat. One more time, coming through, extended cow. Little tip of the tailbone, and then tucking the tailbone as we draw back, extended cat. Coming to neutral. This time the left leg's gonna come through, setting up our lunge on this side. Again, using blocks if we like, making sure our heel is connected to the floor. We're not pushing the knees past the toes, and we're starting to sink a little bit in that back hip. Drawing the belly button up. Just a little hold of our core. And then maybe we pull back a little bit and exhale, sink a little more into it. Some nice deep breaths here. If it feels good, we can kind of push our way up onto the thigh and then maybe sink a little deeper if that feels okay. Let the shoulders relax. We can add the arm extension, so right leg's back, maybe right arm lifts. Maybe we lean back, crescent shape, little crescent lunge here. Breathing. And then bringing that hand down or bringing it to the floor if it's not already there and twisting towards that front leg. So keeping the big toe on the floor, we can push the hand into the thigh here to assist. Maybe we lift that arm up. Breathing here. Maybe pushing with the hand that's on the floor to get a little more rotation, listening to your body and its limits. Good, one more breath, kind of ringing out the weekend. Ready to start the week on a good note. And then bringing the hand to the inside of that foot. Let's just kind of heel toe the foot out a little wider and then take the toes out. Yes, I'm wearing socks. My feet are cold. And then maybe picking up the toes, hand's going to come to that thigh. If it's not comfortable picking up the toes, Keep them down. Either way, hand to that thigh. We'll just give it a little assist. Other hand might be on our block still. Taking a couple deep breaths here. Just a little different version of our lizard pose. And then bringing this hand to the floor, we're going to keep that foot where it is. Start to slide back. So we come to that half split. Toes pick up, but the foot's turned out. We have external rotation. So we're just going to feel it in a different part of the leg. And then breathe here. One more nice deep breath. We hold lots of stuff in our hips. So let's come back forward and find that assisted lizard again, hand to the thigh. And this time, maybe we really open up the front body. We tip back, open the chest. Maybe we lift the chin here and then breathe. Maybe sink a little more on that back hip. Feels good. I like this. I hope you do too. And let's place that hand on the floor, sweep this leg back, find that tabletop position again, hands slightly forward one more time. Our extended cow, shifting forward, opening up. And then cat, tucking the tailbone, coming in through, opening up the center of the chest as much as we can. And then pushing and rounding, tucking, picking up the palms, really extending through the arms here. One more time, coming through, extended cow. And extended cat. And then let's just come to the center and take just one downward facing dog. That's the closest we're gonna get to standing tonight. So spreading fingers, pushing against the floor, really lengthening the back body. And let's just slowly pedal the feet here. Just nice and gentle. Stretching the low part of the leg. Maybe a little stretch in the feet. Keeping that length in our spine while we're here. Let's do one more to each side. Come back to neutral. Let's take a full inhale here. Exhale. And then start to bend your knees, come to our resting pose. So you can keep the hips high if that feels better. Just come to your forearms or sliding all the way back to our resting pose. Feel free to stack the hands, maybe the fists to rest your forehead. You can keep the hands extended. Feel free to rock a little bit. Take a nice deep breath here. Feel the ribs move in the back side of the body. And then let's push ourselves up to a seated position. Legs out front. And we're just going to come to kind of a lazy forward fold. We're going to let the feet be about hip distance. Let the feet flop open to the sides. Sit up nice and tall, but then kind of flop over the legs. And you can let the hands rest on your shins, maybe on blocks, maybe just on the floor. And just hanging out here like we have no cares in the world right now. Take a few deep breaths. Maybe a little swaying side to side if that feels good. And then walking ourselves up. Leaning back a little bit. We're going to come to mongoose pose. So we're actually going to make the feet a little more active. Bring them about hip distance apart, but this time let the toes come up so that we've activated the tops of the legs. Knees are soft, heels are on the floor. And then fingers point towards our toes or slightly out, whatever feels good to you. We're going to press the whole hand, spreading the fingers into the floor. Lift, draw shoulder blades towards each other. Upper back towards the middle line, and then open up the front body. Breathing here, just let the head tip back wherever it feels good. Just a comfortable position, if you will. And really Strong in the arms, pushing us up here so we can really lift the rib cage and open up space in the front body. It's a nice counter pose if we do a lot of sitting. So creating space in the front body so we can continue to take deep breaths, so we don't get a hunchback. And let's release. Let's bend the knees this time, take them wide, and just a fold over the legs and maybe a little rock side to side. We're going to do that mongoose pose one more time because I think it's so important to open the fronts of our body these days. I know for myself, I have some neck issues going on, and my osteopath told me it's because I spend too much time sitting in that forward leaning position. So he has told me to spend more time opening up the front as well. So we can all use it. Let's come back to that mongoose pose. Toes activated, knees soft, press with the hands, lift and open up. Think about squeezing the mid back, upper back towards the midline, and then the shoulders will open up. We can lift the chin, breathe here. Strong hands, fingertips strong. So we're pressing with the whole hand on each side. Just let the breath flow. Maybe notice the ribs moving as you breathe. You've opened up this space. One more nice deep breath here. Filling the space, maybe even creating a little more. Exhale. And then again, release. Let's come back to that lazy fold. So letting the feet be long this time, they just flop open. We sit up nice and tall, and then we flop forward. Taking a few breaths here. If it feels good to kind of rock on your sitting bones, feel free to do that. Sometimes movement, soft movements, swaying movements are very relaxing to our body, especially if they're kind of rhythmic. That's why we rock babies to sleep, right? And then just pulling ourselves up, coming to a seated position with one leg in front of the other, or a crisscross applesauce, up to you. And again, we're just going to sit nice and tall. We're just going to do a little stretch for the hips here. So sitting like this might be enough. If it's actually too much, feel free to put a block underneath your butt, or feel free to have one leg out and one leg short. And it's the short leg we're going to focus on. Up to you. Otherwise, sitting up nice and tall and then starting to fold forward, tipping the tailbone back, letting those sitting bones sink into the floor, relaxing the shoulders, let the neck be long. And as we breathe, maybe we're able to fold a little bit more. Let the exhale be a little bit longer if you can. Let's finish this breath right here. A slow exhale. Enjoy it. And then if we folded, let's walk ourselves up. All we're going to do is change the leg that's bent or the leg that's in front. We're going to do the exact same thing. So sitting up nice and tall, we might not fold. This might be enough. Otherwise, we can start to lean forward. And again, just kind of tipping the tailbone, pressing sitting bones into the floor. As we exhale, maybe we're able to go a little deeper. Using blocks to place forearms or hands on is another option. It brings the floor a little closer to you. Just let the shoulders relax here. Again, any little movements that feel good, feel free to play or explore. And let's finish this breath here. A long exhale, again, enjoying it. And if we folded, just walking ourselves up. This time, we're going to take the legs wide, just in a position that's comfortable for you. This is where you might also want to bring blocks in because they bring the floor a little closer to you. So whatever position feels good to you, I actually am able to scooch myself a little bit deeper into it using my hands. You do you. Sitting up nice and tall. This might be enough for you. Otherwise, we can start to fold forward, hands on floor, hands on block. The block is nice to rest the forearm on if we don't want to go all the way to the floor. And then just breathe. Let the knees soften. Feet can be flexed. You'll get a little more stretch, or you can let them just kind of flop like I'm doing right now. Letting the shoulders relax. Just enjoying a little bit of an inner thigh stretch, a little bit on the inside edge of our hamstrings. If hamstrings are tight, you'll feel it there. Lengthening in the back if we're folded. Let's take one more breath. Again, letting the exhale be long. Enjoy it. And if we folded, let's just push ourselves up. Come to any seated position. We're just going to do a few more things seated, and then we're going to lie down. So any seated position that feels good to you, with any props, again, sitting on blankets or blocks, anything that feels good. Just getting some movement in our torso. So inhale, we're going to bring the arms up, and we're going to tip to your side. It doesn't matter which, because we're obviously going to do both. Finding length from fingertips all the way down the arm, through the armpit, top part of the rib cage here, down to that hip. And then we want to press that butt cheek basically into the floor. As we exhale, keeping the butt cheek on the floor, we might get a little more room, a little more space. Just breathing into that side body. We might even be directing the breath specifically to this side. Feeling that expansion in our rib cage on this side. One more breath on this side. And again, maybe with the exhale, we get a little deeper. And then with the next inhale, we can push off with the hand to bring ourselves up and just change sides. So taking a moment to set up side one, not going to our deepest first. The body and the brain need a moment to say, oh, this is what we're doing on this side now, right? Finding that length, pressing that butt cheek now into the floor as we reach through the fingertips. Other elbow can bend a little bit. That arm doesn't have to be straight. Breathing into the side of our ribs now. Head's just in a neutral position. Let the face relax. Stop clenching your teeth. This is meant to be de-stressing and relaxing. And then one more exhale. Maybe we get a little deeper. Inhale. Let's push ourselves up, all the way up, and then twist now to the first side. Maybe one hand on the floor, one hand on our leg. We might look over that shoulder, a little stretch in the neck. Breathe. Let's inhale, grow a little taller. Exhale, maybe we twist. Maybe that rib cage turns just a little bit more, getting that rotation. Our spine loves this. It's saying thank you to you right now. Next inhale brings us back up nice and tall, creating space between the ribs. Exhale, we go the other way. Again, we might be looking over that back shoulder. Just noticing our breath here, letting the next exhale guide us perhaps a little deeper. And then inhaling back to center, we can keep the arms down. Just a little bit of movement in the neck. So we're going to tip our ear towards our shoulder. So we're getting length along the sides that we're tipping away from. And if we want a little more lengthening, we can take the fingertips out. And then just breathing down that whole side. Let the shoulders be heavy here. Remembering when we're off the mat to look around our surroundings on a regular basis. Use our neck muscles to help turn our head, tilt our head. Use them or lose them. They get tight. Tight muscles aren't strong muscles. They get achy and cranky. Good, let's come up, bring the arm in. We'll go the other way. And then you can decide if you want to bring that arm out. You might do it on one side and not the other, depending on how stiff or cranky that neck feels. Breathe into this space. Maybe the fingers walk out. I think of thing when I do that. Good, coming back up to center. This time picking up the feet. Let them come wide. We're going to lean back a little bit and just a little windshield wipe. Try to get that inside knee as close to the floor as you can. Take your time. We're just going to do 3 to each side. Just getting some internal and external rotation. And our hips are saying thank you to us right now for doing this. Let's do one more. And then coming to knees bent, I'm just going to turn sideways on our mat and letting the hands come under the knees so we can roll ourselves down. And maybe the knees come with us. Give them a little hug, little rock side to side. Take a nice deep breath. And then placing the left foot on the floor, let's cross the right ankle and just gently press that knee away from us, kind of like we did in that assisted lizard. Let the tailbone sink heavy, maybe even push it a little bit into the floor. And then I actually like to pick up my rib cage to really spread the shoulder blades out. Let the head rest long, or let the neck rest long, the head be heavy. And the foot that's up here, let's just flex it a little bit. It just helps with the alignment of our joints, just so they don't feel cranky, I will say. This might be enough for you, and maybe you rock a little bit side to side. If you want a little bit more, feel free to pick up the leg, hang on to the back of the leg. For a deeper stretch, we find the shin. You listen to your body, letting the shoulders relax. So to get to the shin, we shouldn't have to lift the head up, and we shouldn't have a death grip. So if it's too much, if you're like, that leg's going to go boing, don't. Just hold on to the back of the leg or place that foot down. Never, ever force yourself into a pose your body's not ready for. You'll get there. Don't worry. Just keep doing this. Let's take one more breath on this side. And then we're going to let, if that leg came up, we're going to let it come down, and we're going to hug the right knee in. We'll extend the left leg out, place the right foot down, just so you can push it into the floor and turn your body onto that butt cheek. So you're kind of already starting to twist, and then pull the leg the rest of the way across. You might decide to look the opposite direction. You can keep the hand tucked in. I like mine on my hip like a little kickstand, or you can take it out on the diagonal and get a nice stretch in this top side of the body. Think about creating space between the hip bone and the armpit. Breathing into that space, and as we exhale, see if you can create a little more space between those 2 points, the hip bone and the armpit. We might pull the knee just a little bit to create that space. That's okay. Just kind of melting into it as we exhale. If it's uncomfortable, if we took the arm out and that's uncomfortable, bring it back in. Listen to your body. Let's take one more breath on this side. Bring the arm down if you brought it up. We'll bring ourselves back to center, both feet to the center, so we can square off those hips again. Pick up the other leg, cross the ankle, flex the foot, and we just move that leg away from us. Take a moment here. Again, I like to readjust my shoulder blades, push the tailbone into the floor. You're going to open those hips a little bit more. Head's resting on the floor, neck's long. We can decide then to pick up, hold on to back of leg or to shin. Letting shoulders relax here. Again, any rocking that feels good in any of these versions of reclined pigeon that we've chosen tonight. If that feels good, play, explore. Maybe let yourself sink a little bit as you exhale. Let the jaw soften here. One more breath in this position. And then if you picked up this leg, place it down. Let's hug the other one in towards our chest. Send the other leg out long. And then place that foot on the floor just to push to come onto that butt cheek. So you're part way twisted already, and then draw the twist, that leg across the body the rest of the way. And again, you might keep the hand on the hip and the elbow on the floor as like a little kickstand. I like that myself. You might turn the head. Maybe the arm comes out on the diagonal here, and we really focus on that space between the hip and the armpit. Breathing into that space, and then exhale, maybe drawing the knee just a little bit. Maybe extending the arm a little bit to create more space on that side if we can. Just letting the breath be your guide. Again, letting the face soften while we're here. Your eyes might be closed. That's okay. Maybe you fell asleep a long time ago. I don't know. This is just for you to de-stress. Let's take one more breath here. Slow exhale. Bring the arm down if you brought it up. Let your body come back and shift the hips to neutral. And if it feels good, a little windshield wipe. I like to take my feet a little bit wider so I can move a little bit further. Arms wherever they're comfortable. And then we're just going to come to a comfortable position on our back, which might be constructive rest, knees bent. Maybe we walk the feet out, let the knees knock against each other. Feel free to come to traditional final relaxation in this extended pose. And then we're just going to come back to where we started with our square breath as we finish this little practice, this little stretch session tonight. So inhaling for 4, pausing for 4, exhale for 4, sink a bit, and then pause for 4. Inhale for 4, pause for 4, exhale for 4, pause for 4. One more, inhale for 4, pause for 4, exhale for 4, and pause for 4. Just letting that square breath go. Or you can keep it going if you like. You can stay here now as long as you like. Our practice together is done. If you're ready for it to be complete and you want to make your way up, you can get up gently. Taking care of our back, I like to roll to the side, push myself, kind of roll ourselves up to a seated position. And I thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I don't know about you, but right now the Super Bowl's on and I have zero interest in it. So I just wanted to share something for other people who had zero interest as well. And I hope you enjoyed this stretch. It's going to be here on my YouTube channel for you to enjoy anytime, not just Super Bowl. And I hope to see you soon in the real world. Take care. Have a good night. Get a good sleep.